Pay real close attention to this video, folks. This is a music video. I'm just gonna skip forward.
Bye Biden. Bye Biden.
See this?
Bye Biden. Bye Biden.
I want y'all to pay close attention here.
Look at me. No,
See this shit?
I'm here. No, I'm here. Hello, Mr. Biden. Look at me. No, I'm here. No.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles, and it is Wednesday, June 26, 2024. And you are locked into Mild's Culture Plate, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates and cuckolds of all ages and all that good stuff. Once again, big apologies for taking a week and a half off here. Had some family stuff to attend to. I am glad to be back. Nothing bad, nothing great, but nothing bad. Did have a bunch of fun while I was off, though. Cannot complain about any of it. I do have some loved ones who are going through some medical situations, so I do want to give a big shout out. You know who you are. Cheers. So speaking of cheers, if y'all are in the chat today, we will be drinking whiskey together. Feel free to say hello if you're in the chat. I believe the chat should scroll the screen today. So if you're in the chat, say hello. I'll give you a toast. I'm drinking some of the Willet Pot Still Bourbon here. 94 proof. Or no, this is the Willet. Yeah, Pot Still Reserve straight bourbon. Yeah. Gonna go ahead and pour me a little glass here. Cheers to everyone out there. And cheers to my family member. Get well soon. Love you. All right. So, how have you folks been for a week and a half? How have you been? Please say hello in the chat and let me know how you've been. We are live on Rumble, Locals, YouTube, and Twitch and X. We are not live on Facebook. Not sure what's happening with the Facebook connection, but we are live on 5 of the 6 platforms. Feel free to check out the links down in the description. If the link you are watching is not your preferred social media site, but I do recommend people follow along on Rumble. Rumble is my primary platform here, as Salty Saiyan apparently has done. Joined us on Rumble. Cheers and welcome to Salty Saiyan. Good seeing you in the chat as always. So real quick, I'm going to bring that video back up, that music video we were watching at the show open. I'm going to bring that back up real quick.
Oh, I'm here. Bye Biden. Bye Biden. Bye Biden. Bye.
Can you tell that this isn't really Joe Biden? Are you able to tell that this is not Joe Biden? Are you able to tell that the Donald Trump in this video isn't the real Donald Trump? Because if you're completely a dipshit, then maybe you need the Wired magazine. Excuse me, Wired magazine. Maybe you need Wired magazine here to tell you that was not really Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Now, again, so, you know, you read this, okay? Look, the video is called Bye Bye Biden and has been viewed more than 5 million times on X since it was promoted in the middle of May. It depicts Biden as senile, wearing a hearing aid, taking a lot of medication, shows him giving money to a character who represents illegal migrants while denying money to U.S. citizens, blah, 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 blah. Contains stolen election conspiracies pushed by former President Donald Trump. The video was created by Littlebug, a group that mimics the style of Little Big, a real Russian band that fled the country in 2022 following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So, this is Wired Magazine telling you that this is Russian disinformation. That this is Russian disinformation. Because they think you're too stupid to realize that this is not really Donald Trump and that the other character is not really Joe Biden. But no, they know better. And so, look, they're calling it Russian disinformation and propaganda. But you know how you really can tell what propaganda is? When propaganda references another piece of media and does not link to it. Did not link to it. Did not show it. Does not let you judge for yourself. Right? Researchers, okay, so here's another thing. When they source people as a group and don't name them, the video, researchers tell Wired, was also manipulated in a bid to avoid detection online. Doppelganger operators trimmed the video at arbitrary points so they're technically different in milliseconds and therefore likely to be considered distinct, unique videos by abuse protection systems. So, again, this is all about, they're talking about the deep fake technology here, generative adversarial network, talking about AI. So again, the whole point of this article is to deceive Biden supporters, to deceive the voting public into thinking, oh, Russia's making deep fakes, when it's this obvious parody music video.
Hello, Mr. Biden, shake my hand. No peace here, no peace here.
Right? They reference the video, make it sound like some scary boogeyman AI deep fake. Because right now that's the argument, right? Because you got this other Wired story here about cheap fakes. So this has been the latest propaganda thing, is cheap fakes. Talking about AI deep fakes of political candidates. Anyway, folks. So yeah. So we got Salty saying a lot of things in the chat here. Saying thank you for pulling the camera back so that you could see my my whole wall. I didn't necessarily mean to. I was fucking around with my camera and I kind of just rearranged some things here. And also what may be different is some of these, like the action figures, I've moved them down. You had a lot of it like cluttered up here. So anyway, cool. Thank you for appreciating my collection. Let's see. We hope, but the bar isn't very high. Politico says it's fact. No, I mean, that's just it. They're saying it's fakery, right? When it's parody. It's obvious parody, and they're saying it's fakery. I can hear someone's media consumption from another room here through my microphone. So let me just shut my office door. Hold that thought one moment. Okay, worst thing ever would be getting copy claimed because copyrighted materials being transmitted from another room through my microphone. Which, speaking of, I do want to address for just a moment a little channel note. I've been following some of the controversy. I don't know if you folks have seen, but apparently Tim Pool has broke a big story, and it's been, picked up on by a lot of other content creators online about the debate tomorrow night, and that CNN and YouTube are basically saying that anyone streaming the debate will get copy struck and taken down. So yeah, I plan on streaming the whole thing on Rumble. I plan on adding my own commentary, adding my own fair use analysis of what's happening, my own commentary on a political conversation that will be happening that is in the interest of every single voting age American in this country. And yeah, YouTube can fuck right off. I won't be on YouTube tomorrow night, but we will be here live on Mild's Culture Plate. I do plan on doing some Biden bingo. We will be playing Biden bingo. I don't know yet whether or not I'll be able to drink, but it is my plan to drink along with y'all. So, I kind of made a promise that I'd try to do a longer stream at some point this week. That may wind up being the Saturday show just because, yeah, Thursday's debate night. We're going to be doing the debate. And I need to figure out a gimmick for if and when, most likely when, CNN cuts Donald Trump's mic, because that's going to be an important thing to keep an eye out for. I think there's a lot of people just expecting that will happen. Anyway, but I'm not going to let CNN cut my mic. That's the important thing. All right. So real quick, touching up with a previous story we covered here on Mild's Culture Plate a few weeks back. Feds charge 5, including a man acquitted at the trial with conspiring to bribe a Minnesota juror with $120,000. Now, again, we've covered this story a few times here on this channel. We had this. Where did it go? I'm trying to remember the dang name of the quote unquote charity, but there were pandemic related funds that were stolen by a charity allegedly. Yeah, people were found guilty here. And the one person who was found innocent in that group of people who were found guilty, the one person that was found innocent is apparently guilty of trying to bribe the juror. Salty Sand says, clearly it wasn't enough money. Well, what happened was the juror actually contacted the court and said that they had a family member who had been contacted by someone and offered given $120,000 and said there would be twice as much at the end of the trial if they voted to acquit. And yeah, that money was turned in. Those people were turned in, and yeah, the juror snitched, so to speak. The juror snitched. So yeah, apparently it was not enough money. Already in George Soros' pocket. Well, and he says Alexander's. Well, yeah, but that's just it. This is Minnesota, right? So probably, but the jury voted to convict everyone else. So yeah, we have Abdiaziz Shafi Farah, Abdi Majid Mohammed Nur, Saeed Shafi Farah, Abdul Karim Shafi Farah, and Laydan Mohammed Ali are each charged with 1 count of conspiracy to bribe a juror, 1 count of bribery of a juror, and 1 count of corruptly influencing a juror, according to the indictment. So yeah, we we have these obviously straight white males. I'm kidding. Trying to corrupt the jury. Trying to remember. Court documents made public reveal an extravagant scheme in which the accused researched the juror's personal information on social media, surveilled her, tracked her daily habits, and bought a GPS device to install on her car. Authorities believe the defendants targeted the woman known as Juror 52 because she was the youngest and believed her to be the only person of color on the panel. We are immigrants. They don't respect us. The list of proposed arguments read. Wow. Yeah, this was. I'm trying to remember the name of the damn charity here. I think it was like Feed the Children or something. Federal prosecutors say the conspiracy exploited rules that were kept lax so the economy wouldn't crash during the pandemic. The FBI, yeah, feeding our future. Here it is, feeding our future. In addition to the 5 convictions in early June, 18 other defendants have already pled guilty. Trials are still pending for the others. So we have 70 people charged in federal court for the alleged roles in this pandemic fraud. That bitch tried to lock up that Brett Noel. They were trying to keep from getting locked up. Okay, so we have this news story. Sorry. We have this news story here. DHS has identified over 400 migrants brought to the U.S. by an ISIS-affiliated smuggling network. Over 150 have been arrested, but the whereabouts of over 50 remain unknown. Officials said ICE is looking to arrest them on immigration charges when they are found. Fun times. Department of Homeland Security has identified over 400 migrants from Central Asia and elsewhere who crossed into the U.S. in the past 3 years as quote-unquote subjects of concern because they were brought by an ISIS-affiliated smuggling network. Baldy Sand says only the 50 worst got away, right? While over 150 of them have been arrested, the 50 remain unknown. One of the U.S. officials said people affiliated with ISIS are operating as human smugglers in Central Asia and helping people there leave their countries and travel to the West, where they're then smuggled into the U.S. It is not known whether the human smuggling activity directly funds ISIS activity or whether ISIS members are making personal money through human smuggling on the side. The official added that the U.S. has no indication that the more than 400 migrants brought to the U.S. by the network have plans to carry out terrorism in the U.S., but immigration agents are looking to arrest them out of caution. So here we go. We have ISIS acting as coyotes to help Asian migrants get to the United States. A couple things. Let me just take a little side thing here. A couple things I'm not going to be covering. I was going to cover the DUI arrest of Justin Timberlake. That was kind of my plan for if I would have been able to do a show this past weekend. I'm not going to cover that today, but feel free to look into that. It's a pretty interesting story. Let's see, what was another story I was going to cover? Anyway, there was some stuff going viral last week. Of course, I have flies in my house. I left for a few days. I come back and I have flies in my house. Yep. Salty Sand says, yeah, I got to get the Chinese soldiers in somehow. Nice try, AI. All right. Looks like we got a couple viewers over on Locals. Welcome to whoever's over on Locals. Cheers and welcome. So we have some interesting stories here. Here's an interesting thing that popped up on my feed today. We got the New York Post saying that there was a pregnant woman who accused 3 cops of sexually abusing her as a teen. May have been killed despite an initial suicide finding, says a pathologist. A pregnant... Okay, that was my new watch, by the way. Apparently Google Assistant thought I was talking to it. A pregnant Massachusetts woman who accused 3 cops of grooming and sexually abusing her as a teenager did not commit suicide and may have been killed, a high profile pathologist hired by her family has claimed. Well, so let me start off by saying, yeah, families tend to do this, right? They'll hire, if they don't necessarily believe suicide might have happened, they might hire a pathologist who's supposed to look for some kind of doubt, right? I wouldn't look for this to go much further, but it is there is a little sus element to the story here, right? Being suicided by government officials is a concern people have. Medical examiner and investigator said at the time of the young woman's autopsy, which was also determined that she was 3 months pregnant, had shown no evidence of foul play. Sandra Birchmore's death had been ruled a suicide by a state medical examiner after the 23-year-old was found hanging in her Canton apartment back in February of 2021. Here's the young lady here. Former New York City Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Michael Baden, who was hired by her family, admitted amid an ongoing civil legal battle against 3 cops, has since rejected those filings, the Boston Globe reports. I must disagree. Miss Birchmore did not die of suicidal hanging. The cause of Miss Birchmore's death is strangulation, and the manner of death is homicide. Salty Sands looking into the future of this article here. Baden said the extent of Birchmore's injuries, as well as the placement of ligature found on her body, were among the reasons for his determination. He noted that Birchmore had suffered a fracture to a small U-shaped bone in the neck known as the hyoid, which fractures rarely, if at all, in suicidal hanging, but it does in half of homicidal strangulation of women. Bombshell developments are the latest in a long-running case that has plagued the area and sparked multiple probes by FBI, state, and local authorities ever since the grooming and abuse allegations surfaced. 3 Staunton police officers, Matthew Farrell, William Farrell, his brother, and Robert Devine, are accused of abusing and exploiting Birchmore for a decade after meeting her when she enrolled in the Explorer Youth Program when she was 13 in 2010. In the wake of Birchmore's death, an internal police department probe found that Matthew Farwell had allegedly started sexually abusing her when she was 15. Here's them together. The other 2 cops were also accused of having inappropriate relationships with the girl in the years that followed, according to the investigation. Before her apparent suicide, Birchmore had also allegedly told friends that Matthew Farrell was the father of her baby, a claim that he has denied. All 3 cops who denied the allegations and resigned from the department in 2022, and no criminal charges have been brought. The family filed a wrongful death lawsuit in late 2022, alleging that the scheme of grooming and repeated assaults led to her demise. Baden was hired by the family to look at the autopsy report as part of the suit. The officers who've also denied the wrongful death claims haven't commented publicly on the forensics pathologist's new findings. Police Chief Donna McNamara, however, said that she was profoundly disturbed by the fresh claims. And then here's her saying, I was profoundly disturbed. Gotta love repeating news articles. While I'm not a trained medical examiner, I'm not qualified to draw any direct conclusions. The findings certainly warrant further examination at the highest level. As always, we will continue to assist with any effort that ensure truth and justice prevail. Representatives for the state police and the medical examiner who issued the initial suicide autopsy ruling declined to comment due to ongoing investigations. Baden has been involved in a slew of prominent cases over his 5-decade career, including leading a House committee that reinvestigated assassinations of President JFK and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was also hired by George Floyd's family to conduct an autopsy in the wake of his death in 2020. So there we go. This is the same Same doctor who ruled that, yeah, the knee did kill George Floyd. So, take that for what you will, right? It wasn't the fentanyl, it was the knee that killed George Floyd. So, uh, there you go. We got the same doctor ruling on this, saying that this woman was strangled to death. Fair enough. So we have some interesting news in election season here. Not only with everything I mentioned earlier about CNN and YouTube, we've had some interesting primaries around the country this week. And I was in Colorado for most of the week, and I did not get to meet Lauren Boebert, who happened to win her primary in her new district. Lauren Boebert. And so now there have been a bunch of polls. This one's from Newsweek, uh, trying to determine Boebert is deeply unpopular in her home state. 62% of respondents had an unfavorable view of the Congresswoman. An internal poll on behalf of the Calvarese campaign by Keating Research found that Boebert had a 12-point lead over Calvarese. However, the Democrat took the lead by 9 points when given propaganda about Boebert and positives for Calvarese. Yeah, of course. In a statement following her victory Tuesday night, Calvarese touted herself as a champion for working families and insisted that she would defeat Boebert and her dysfunction in November. Our win tonight shows that our district wants a representative who's a champion for working families and not the dysfunction Lauren Boebert has brought to Congress. She moved here because she thought she could win in this district, but that was before I got into this race. So, yeah, you got Lauren Boebert being the front runner in a new district. So you may remember there was Representative Jamal Bowman, who infamously tried to hold up a bill, allegedly tried to hold up a bill by opening the fire exit doors at the Capitol in the midst of an important vote. Yeah, he was resoundingly defeated in his primary. And then we have an interesting story here out of South Carolina. Interesting story here on South Carolina. So you have 3 state senators, Republican state senators, who filibustered the abortion ban, lost their primaries. 3 Republican state senators who filibustered an abortion ban in the state have lost their primary elections this month. The 3 lost to male candidates and were among a bipartisan group of 5 women state senators who filibustered a near total abortion ban. They were nicknamed the Sister Senators. As a result of their coordinated effort, the group was chosen last year to receive the Kennedy Profile and Courage Award. During the filibuster, each of the 5 lawmakers took turns describing the complexities of pregnancy and the reproductive system and the dangers of lack of access to contraception and inadequate privacy laws, said the announcement about them receiving the award. In the immediate aftermath of their filibuster, the sister senators were heckled and harassed by anti-abortion activists. Of course, this is NBC News, so, if you're not all for killing babies, then you must be harassing and an activist, right? 3 Republicans were also met with strong opposition from their own party, including censures and promises of primary challenges in 2024. Shealy conceded Tuesday night to Carlisle Kennedy, the Post and Courier reported, after obtaining 37.5% of the vote. According to an official tally of primary runoff results published by South Carolina on Tuesday night. Shealy represents a county in the middle of the state that includes the capital of Columbia. Kennedy's campaign website says that he's proudly pro-life and he will work to protect the unborn. So there you go. Look around and find out. Fuck around and find out. You got Jamal Bowman. You have 3 pro-abortion Republicans. And, oh, dear Lord, stop with that. Sorry, I got to take my watch off. I keep accidentally hitting the button that tries to activate the Google AI on it. I'm sure they really love that. Okay, now for our title story. You ready for our title story, folks? You see the title of the video? Let's get into the title story. Entire Hell's Angel chapter arrested in California in kidnapping and assault probe, police say. The entire Bakersfield, California Hell's Angels Motorcycle Club chapter was arrested as part of kidnapping, robbery, and assault, authorities said Tuesday. Those arrested include 5 active members of the club's Bakersfield chapter, as well as 2 others who are members of the Sons of Hell, a motorcycle club that answers to the Hell's Angel chapter, said the Kern County Sheriff's Office. Law officers seized 25 firearms, an unspecified number of rounds of ammunition, and gang regalia, according to the statement jointly released with the U.S. BATFE. Look at that. Look at that table. Right? All these police officers love to jerk off to these kind of pictures, right? The arrests, which took place Tuesday morning, were the result of a joint investigation by ATF, Sheriff's Office, and Highway Patrol. The investigation continues. One of 7 suspects, John Vaughn, was already in custody as a result of quote-unquote other charges, according to the statement. All the suspects so far are also said to be from Bakersfield. The others arrested were named as Ricardo Alvarez, Armando Villaseñor, Joseph Soto Jr., Joshua Zavala, and John Seeger. Vaughn and Seeger are members of the Sons of Hell, according to the statement. The rest are members of the Bakersfield chapter of Hell's Angels. They've not been formally charged. Allegations leading to their arrests include kidnapping, robbery, criminal threats, false imprisonment, assault with a firearm, participation in a criminal street gang, criminal conspiracy, intimidating a witness or victim, and elder abuse, law enforcement said in the statement. Wow, folks. It wasn't clear whether the investigation stemmed from a single incident or a rash of incidents. Spokesperson Lori Meza said details can't be revealed because the probe is ongoing. It is not clear whether the suspects have retained counsel. The Public Defender's Office for Kern County did not respond for comment. The Justice Department designates the Hells Angels as an outlaw motorcycle gang and criminal enterprise. Federal authorities allege the gang has long been involved in trafficking drugs and firearms. Well, then why didn't they find drugs, right? They raided the place. They found 25 guns and some rounds of ammo. But they did not find drugs. Yahoo, you got to be careful what you say unless you have evidence to back it up, right? Okay, so we've had some interesting developments on the Supreme Court level this week. You have an interesting ruling. I would advise you folks to follow this up by researching this yourself. But you've had some interesting rulings about firearm rights, about your Second Amendment rights, being able to be removed by state red flag laws. The Supreme Court sided with the government. You have the Biden administration and government officials going to Twitter and asking, or not just Twitter, but, several social media companies and asking them to remove posts. The government essentially censoring speech through third-party networks. The Supreme Court has decided that those who sued the government for these kind of breaches in the First Amendment did not have standing. Once again, Supreme Court sided with the government. You have the Supreme Court set to rule on a lot of other cases pretty soon. I mean, the Supreme Court's just hammering them out, right? You're going to have the Trump stuff pretty soon. You're going to have a lot of insanity happening. And then we have this. Justices seem set to allow emergency abortions in Idaho for now, a prematurely posted opinion says. Now, you remember the last time the Supreme Court was set to rule on an abortion case. We had the overturning of Roe versus Wade, which was leaked days before the ruling was set to be publicized. And now we have a prematurely posted Supreme Court opinion about abortion yet again. The Supreme Court appears poised to allow emergency abortions in Idaho when a pregnant patient's health is at serious risk, according to a copy of the opinion briefly posted by the court's website and obtained by Bloomberg News. The document suggests the court will find that it should not have gotten involved in the case over Idaho's strict abortion ban so quickly. By a 6-3 vote, it would reinstate a lower court order that had allowed hospitals in the state to perform an emergency abortion to protect a pregnant patient's health. Such an outcome would leave issues at the heart of the case unresolved. It would also mean key questions remain unanswered. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson wrote in a concurrence, "Today's decision is not a victory for pregnant patients in Idaho, it is a delay," she wrote. The Supreme Court acknowledged that its publications unit inadvertently posted a document Wednesday. An opinion in the Idaho case would be issued, quote, in due course. Conservative Justices Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Neil Gorsuch are listed as dissenting. The finding may not be the court's final ruling because the justice's decision has not been officially released. The decision would mean the case would continue at the 9th U.S. Circuit Court and end up back before the justices. So, Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch, right? Which means, the other quote-unquote conservative justices. Along with the Supreme Court Chief Justice, have all voted for emergency abortions in Idaho. Cheers. Okay, y'all ready to get into the viral videos? Actually, before we do, let me think here. There was another thing I wanted to kind of briefly touch on. And I had a brain fart. I can't think of it right now. So let's get into the viral videos. So while I was away, there were a lot of things that went viral. There were a lot of conversations happening. And the thing that has blown up the most on the internet, let me just do this here. Let me do this. Media, graphic. We're going to do psyops, thirst traps, shitposts, and grifts when talking about this. Because this individual has blown up all over the internet. And we're going to watch this video here.
Get drunk. Like we're doing right now.
Y'all get over a breakup right now?
The only way to get over one is get under another. Amen.
So you got a side piece.
Maybe I got 3. Maybe I got 7.
How many is on your roster?
There's only one I want, but till he's serious, I'm a boo.
So how many you got on your roster right now?
Maybe 4.
One. She said 1.
Maybe 4. How many you got on your roster?
Okay, so first off, they're obviously smashed, right? And, she's saying she's going to bullshit. She's going to cheat on whoever until this guy, I can't even say cheat. She's going to fuck around with a bunch of guys until the one guy she wants to settle down. Let's continue to watch.
None.
You trying to add one to it?
Add one?
Yeah, you trying to add one
that
more
you?
to it? Yeah, that's me.
Maybe, I don't know.
So I can get your number?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. There you go.
You got it.
There you go.
So this interview is going to continue here.
I got one more for
Good
you.
questions. Like, you gotta make it good.
Leave a message to your last body.
My last body,
Yeah.
I miss you. Come back.
You miss him.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's doing his little thing.
Yeah.
What's your type?
Like me.
So hang on, enough of this friend here. Let's skip forward.
This is to your last body.
I love you, Pookie, forever.
This must be the person
They
she's
must be
fucking
doing the
around
right
on.
thing.
What can I say?
Okay.
Take the cobwebs off this thing.
With the cobwebs off this thing.
I'm waiting. Come on. She'll be back. Like, I don't know how to answer those.
Can I answer those?
Like, my type, I don't have a type.
Do you know what? Do you know what makes you wifey material?
Me, wifey,
Yeah.
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
What? Explain. What's everything?
I'm loyal.
So again, this person's not the person that's gone viral, but I do have to address this fucking video, right? I have to address everything that's happening here because this is what we do on this channel. We talk about the gender gap and the problems with dating. And this woman was just asked, what makes you a good wife? Right? And literally, instead of giving an answer, she just says everything. 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 Right? Everything. And then when pressed, she says, I'm loyal. Right? Not that I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm giving, but I'm loyal. Okay, so let's go back a couple seconds. Let's
This is my wife. What makes me wifey material?
What makes her wifey material?
Oh, she has to
You got.
Hurry, turn around. Let me see.
she has to ask her friend, and her friend says her fat ass.
You fucking lying.
No, she got to go. Go ahead, give us
No, ma'am.
Can we have a 360? Can you give us a 360?
this flat ass.
Girl.
Flat ass.
Come on. You gotta get a spicy one.
You want a
Well,
spicy?
obviously drunk. Gotta
What's
get a
one-
spicy
What's
one.
one move in bed that make a man go crazy every time?
One what?
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time? That you do.
That I do.
Yeah. That makes a man go crazy every time.
Does not reply.
In bed, Haley.
Oh.
This is for her.
What?
You
What's-
know how to answer this. You got it.
Now here you go. This is the part of the clip that went super viral. And we're going to talk a little bit about this because it's important. It's important for this show. I know you've seen this fucking everywhere, and you know exactly what's going to happen. But we have to talk about this.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh,
That
you
do?
gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
I don't get you. I think you gotta demonstrate.
Hawk too and spit
No,
on
like-
it. Spit on it. If I see you
All right,
before
any more?
you're gonna cry.
Oh
Any
yeah.
more?
Okay, I got another one for y'all.
Okay.
Would you rather? Hold on, is she listening?
Would you rather?
Would you rather have back shots for the rest of your life or missionary for the rest of your life? You can only choose one.
Back shots.
Back shots? Why back shots?
Because I don't like somebody looking at me in my face, you know?
You don't like that eye
I don't-
contact?
I don't
It's
like
a little
that.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh
It's
wow,
a
for
little-
someone so loyal,
It's a
eye contact during intimate moments.
Yeah, I'm
What
not
about
a
you?
pillow princess.
Wait, you gotta repeat. I'm sorry. I'm really focused.
Back shots or missionary for the rest of your life? You can only choose one.
That's hard. Hold on.
That's what she said.
Okay, wrap it up. Okay.
Tim and DTV.
All right.
You said we better post that?
Yes.
Okay.
Post it.
Okay, we got about 30 more seconds here.
Raise the camera. Let me see who said it. She said we better post it.
Okay, so they got two other women that showed up.
you in 4K?
This is the clearest video. They got your ass on camera. Niggas ain't gonna be the fucking camera. This is the clearest video I've ever seen. This is the most HD shit ever.
How did they catch you in 4K?
Okay, so yeah, apparently there was more to that at some point, but look, here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Huck Tuh, right? And yes, it's fucking still trending after like 5 days. You people are still making memes about this chick. And let me say, look, I'm not going to call it a shit post or a grift, but it's definitely a thirst trap, because if you watch that whole video, you know, like, she's not wife material, nor is her friend. These are drunk chicks celebrating fucking dudes, which there's nothing wrong with having sexuality as part of your personality, right? There's nothing inherently wrong about that. Now, granted, try to be modest if you can, but these people are clearly out having a good time, right? They're partying, they're having a good time, they're bar hopping, and there's nothing wrong with finding a little humor in sexuality. But the guy asked, what makes a man go crazy in bed? And she said, hawk to and spit on that thing, right? Kind of implying that, first off, I don't really know what she's implying. Now, I know the internet, right? The internet has made this woman a symbol of an entire generation of people who are frustrated at the lack of oral sex, right? So a lot of people think that she means oral sex, but look, if it's going to go in the mouth anyway, you don't really need to spit on it. So it kind of sounds like it's either a handy, right? Maybe it's a handy, or maybe it's going in a drier hole later, potentially, but it's more of a secondary argument, right? That a lot of women try to be timid and tame in the bedroom, and that the ability to just hock a loogie on somebody's crotch is a little nasty. A little nasty in a way that people tend to look for sexually nowadays. And so the conversation that's happening on the internet right now is that instead of putting her own dignity on some kind of pedestal, that the ability to just hawk one, right? To just spit a little during sex is a selfless act. That it makes her a selfless lover, right? And that she's willing to do the dirty stuff that guys want her to do. And that makes her a better partner. Well, you just saw in the rest of that clip, there were several reasons why she's obviously not the better partner. And so, yeah, I'm going to call this a thirst trap. This is a thirst trap and a psyop, right? This idea that you should just wife up a chick just because she spits on your willy, that's almost as crazy as the next individual. And we've been following this story for 2 weeks now, or 3 weeks, counting the week that I've missed here. We've been following this story for about 3 weeks now, and it has gone full fucking circle on the grift. Full fucking circle on the grift. Now we're gonna watch a few minutes of this video. This is this Lily person who has gone viral over several clips. And, I tried to kind of denounce her on the last show, but it's now gotten worse.
All right, y'all. So me and you, we're the normies. We are the fucking normal people. We're the ones who built this damn country. And we have these fringes on the far right.
Who the fuck is she talking to? Who the fuck is she talking to? First off, this is posted on TikTok. You notice that? This is posted on TikTok. This isn't a conversation she's having with Twitter. She's now turned her back on Twitter and went back to TikTok to talk to quote unquote the normies. So she was a right-wing darling 2 weeks ago. Then she went to AFPAC, which got canceled, and hung out with a bunch of groypers. She had some things to say about groypers, and now she's making videos like this, calling for the normies, that she's relating to you, the normie.
We have the fringes on the far left. that they all have their little clubs, they all have their little cliques, they all have their little catchphrases, and they both fucking hate me. They both hate me because I represent you. Because we're normal. Because I don't want to.
Who the fuck is she talking to? She's saying, you, the viewer, you're not right wing or left wing. You're just a normie, and I represent you. Come on.
Join your gay club. Because we don't want to be a part of that gay shit. We're just normal people who work and pay taxes and get shit on. The government shits on us. The far right and the far left shits on us.
So who shits on who?
And ultimately, no one gives a shit about fixing this country because they're so busy. It's a circle jerk. They're so busy.
We're all just circle
trying
jerkers.
to, appease their own and stay in the good graces of their own and get famous and whatever, that they don't care about America. That's why nothing gets done in this country, because they're so busy like fighting amongst themselves, like the little fucking pussies that they are, that they don't care to do actually anything about changing the country.
Okay, literally, this is you fighting amongst them. This is you fighting amongst ourselves. You're saying I represent the average person, and yeah, well, no, they're fringes that fight amongst themselves, and I'm not one of them. Well, no. You have to understand, the people on the quote unquote people on the fringes are the people who are putting the work in to fight the system. And yes, there's infighting because of shit like this, because of people like you.
They like to talk about how oppressed we are. Oh, they shut down our venues. Oh, they're all racist. White supremacy is the biggest danger in this country. Sure, you dumbass. Meanwhile, me and you, the normal people who like went to college, we didn't buy into the woke cult. We're normal. We've got common sense. We're getting shit on by everyone. Like, Republicans are just as bad as Democrats. They're all the same.
We went to
That's
college.
what I have discovered in this whole thing.
I didn't
is that
go to
they're all the
college.
same and they don't give a shit about us. So I am forming an alliance of normal fucking people. We're not Puritans. We're not Bible thumpers. We have the courage of our convictions. We're just normal ass people. And it's time for us to stand back, take the country back, and stop listening to these losers on the far right.
So she's forming her own group, allegedly. Right? Forming her own group.
The far left. They're all losers. Like,
and everyone else is a loser.
I just walked into a certain of these groups and I was like, wow, loser. They don't have any life outside of Twitter.
Okay, don't have any life outside of Twitter. Well, you know what? You have been posting shit like this practically fucking nonstop, right? You're all over Twitter yourself. What makes you so different? So, anyone want to guess what her little club is all about? Do you remember a certain calendar that we covered on this program about 6 months ago? You remember the Calendar Gate controversy? You remember how we covered the grift of the conservahors? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite internet grifter here, Lily, is now part of the ultra-right beer movement.
It's almost 4th of July, and you know what that means? Time for the barbecues, time for the boat days, the flags, hanging out with your family, and of course, having a beer from ultra-right by conservative dads. Why would you drink a gay beer like Bud Light when you could be drinking a cool beer that A, looks cool, B, tastes good, and C, is from a company that's not woke?
This is the cringiest shit I've seen in weeks.
So grab you a beer from ultra-right and let's go have the best 4th of July ever, baby.
Really? I mean, can we just put this bitch to bed? I mean, yeah, it's my fault for continuing to bring her up. It's my fault, but this bitch needs to get out of my feet now, like yesterday. So yeah, I think I'm going to make it a point to no longer cover Lily. No longer cover Lily unless it's like something else, right? Unless it's her being arrested for doing cocaine or something, right? It's no longer going to be about her shit opinions, her flip flopping, her trying to appeal to the coolness of everybody. I can't do it no more. Can't do it no more. So, yeah, there's another video that went viral here. Another few videos that have gone viral. Let me go ahead and bring the PsyOps thirst traps shitposts and grifts graphic off the screen here. Go ahead and bring that down, because now we're just going to cover regular old viral videos. So here is a woman who, again, there's the whole concept of mind your own fucking business, right? Well, here's a woman that took to the internet because she saw another man who she wasn't related to, right? She had no business in his life. She took to the internet because she wanted the internet to know that this guy was cheating on his wife. How dare he? Oh, I'll share this tab instead. Here we go. Man in green behind her, chatting with this woman. Look, she's acting like she's checking her makeup and her eyes and her nose, but she's secretly filming this guy flirting with his seatmate here, right? And then we have a second video here. Bring this up here. And we have a second video here. Update, they were making out and ended up in the bathroom. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that down for a second. So, and this is the caption on the Instagram post here. If this man is your husband flying United Airlines Flight 2140 from Houston to New York, he's probably going to be staying with Katie tonight. Him and Katie met at the airport bar and haven't left each other's side since then. He convinced her to change her seat so she could sit next to him and they could drink. I don't know his name, but I know hers because he keeps saying it. He's also said his 8-year-old daughter danced for the Astros opening tonight. He's from Fort Worth, says he's a surfer, blah, 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 blah. And then hashtag find the wife, hashtag cheating husbands, hashtag, right? The incident led viewers to find the couple's social media accounts, and it was noted that the wife deactivated her Facebook afterwards. So yeah, is this what social media is for now? Is this what social media is for now? To expose cheating men? I mean, look, it's fair game. It's fair game. First off, I want to find out how the hell this chick knew he was married. Was he wearing his wedding ring, right? Was he wearing the ring? Good question. Very good question. Was he wearing the wedding ring on the plane? How did this chick know this guy was cheating on his wife? I mean, granted, you're being that public with your PDA. There's probably something to it. It's probably clear they didn't know each other. And if he's wearing a wedding ring and it was clear they didn't know each other, then maybe you kind of brought it on yourself, dude. However, we do like to talk about cheating on this program. But not everything is cheating. Not everything is cheating. And I may have misspoke in my update video the other day. I may have misspoke a little bit because I mentioned Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford. His wife recently did a podcast in which she revealed some personal information. And I initially called this cheating, but it's not cheating, right? The thing we're about to hear, the thing we're about to see, you can't really call it cheating. But we will discuss what this means for a relationship when you see something like this. Let's go ahead and play this.
Wait, so was he trying to casually date and you were all in?
yeah, girl. Anyways, long story short, it wasn't that cute of a relationship at first. I hated him. I loved him. I dated the backup to piss him off.
Huh. So this is, you are a starting quarterback of a football team that has recently won the Super Bowl. I mean, recent enough. Granted, my team, the Kansas City Chiefs, have won back-to-back Super Bowls since then. Matthew Stafford, you're part of a pretty big football team. National champion. And your wife goes on a podcast to reveal that, in the beginning, we just probably just weren't right for each other, right? We didn't really like each other, and I tried to piss him off by banging his backup quarterback.
Which worked.
Yes.
He was like,
that'll do it.
He was the bad boy too. Like Matthew's so sweet and Southern gentleman and all that stuff. And the backup was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it upset him. So they lived in the same dorm because athletes lived in the same dorm, and he would see my car there. And so at one point he like waited and followed me out and got in my car and wouldn't get out. And he was like,
"This is so hot."
I was like, "This is amazing. It's working."
Yeah.
I was get out.
So she's purposefully banging, quote unquote, the bad boy to make the good guy jealous who she already knew she didn't have a good relationship with. This is fucking toxic, y'all.
Out of my car, and he was like, he's not right for you. And I was like, what? You can't tell me that.
Okay. I mean, look, he can tell you that. And he did tell you that. Oh, fuck, people. I don't know, man. I literally, again, it's milquetoast. People in college, they fuck. But to then go on a podcast years later, and that's where we're at now. We're years later. And she thinks of those times and that behavior with a smile on her face, like she got away with something. That's what's scary. That's what's terrifying. Is that she thinks it's funny and quaint and cute now. That she was fucking the bad boy, the backup quarterback, to make her husband jealous. Oh, it's just quaint and cute. Fucking toxic. Okay, now we're going to do the gender crazy of the week, folks. Gender crazy of the week. So apparently this happened on United Airlines.
Okay, so we were denied boarding, myself, my 16-month-old son, my mother. They took our luggage on the plane, which has my thyroid medication, which I'll be very sick without, my mother's medication. They basically said tough luck. And they won't tell me exactly what I said, but what happened, and I will tell you what happened right now. I was speaking to one of the flight attendants and got their pronouns wrong. The other flight attendant didn't like it. I said, I'm really sorry. I'm not very versed with pronouns. I was holding my son. He was having a temper tantrum. I had the car seat on my back. I wasn't really focusing on anything except getting my son's car seat on the flight and getting him comfortable and safe, and him, because now it's his nap time. You can see he's kind of fallen asleep. They're saying that it's a hate crime that I did, that I might not even be able to ever fly United. We don't even know how we're going to get back today. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Banned from flying for incorrect pronouns. Potentially banned from flying for incorrect pronouns. So this is at Jenna Longoria.
Okay, so we
known
were
as the
denied.
Period Guru. Now again, this could be bullshit, but it doesn't sound like bullshit. So shout out to everyone who has been sharing that. I found it, I think through Clown World, but I know Libs of TikTok and some other people shared it as well. Shout out to Libs of TikTok for sharing this next video. This is important. This is important therapeutic information, folks. This next video. This is definitely, when you're an adult, shout out to the adults out there. Because when you're an adult, a lot of times you don't have your parent around as much. And again, my mother has passed away. And, my father, thankfully, is still alive. And I don't necessarily need him for stuff like this. But, there are some people out there who do and yet still don't have the parent, right? Either parent. And so, this person here wants to advise us on how to parent yourself. Ah, damn it.
Ooh, I'm here. I'm here, and I know you're scared.
I'm here, and I know you're scared.
But I've got you, and I won't leave you. And I love you, and I'm so sorry that you're scared.
Okay, you notice there's no fucking tears.
But it's okay.
They're doing this for online grift.
It's safe to feel. It's safe to cry. It's safe to move through it.
The self-hug, right? The self-hug, the self-reassurance. Oh, look at this. Okay, so read the screen. I always waited for someone else to validate my feelings. Now, of course, you know what the punchline is coming, right?
I can hold space for myself.
I always waited for someone else to comfort me.
Crying is healthy.
Crying is healthy.
Crying is not negative.
Crying is not negative.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm the only one. I'm the one who knows what I need. Right? I can validate my own life.
It's okay to surrender. Keep breathing.
Folks, look. For real. Real mental health moment, right? We all need somebody, right? This fucking world is lonely as shit. We all need somebody. We all need reassurances, right? Sometimes we need reassurances in the form of a swift kick in the ass and being brought back to reality by someone who loves us and cares about our health. But we have run those people off or they've passed away and we don't go out and socialize and find a new support network or, find it hard to do those things. Life can get really fucking lonely and you do kind of have to figure it out on your own. But this I can reassure myself, right? I can love myself. I can hug myself. I can hug my own tears away and remind myself that I'm worth my own love and attention. No, you need real therapy, right? You need you need to figure out what's wrong underneath it because no, you're not okay. You're not loved. And you need to figure out how to socialize. You need to figure out how to at least make a friend, someone other than yourself who's willing to hug you and tell you these are the good things about you and these are the good things that make you a good spirit. And if you can't, at the fucking bare minimum, find one person, one single person, then maybe it's time to work on things about yourself, improve some things about yourself. For real though, this is something that I'm constantly working on. I suffer from a lot of loneliness myself. I'm not going to lie. I'm an introvert. I am an introvert. I hate leaving my house. But also I'm a Gemini, and I don't want to do the Gemini shit. That's That's lame. But, there's this whole idea that a Gemini's got the opposing sides of their own personality. And yes, while I don't necessarily believe in fucking astrology, I do kind of have a little bit of this opposing sides of the same personality. And yeah, so while I'm an introvert and I hate fucking leaving the house, I also get pretty fucking lonely and I crave social attention, which requires me to get out of the house and learn social skills. And I fucking love it, right? I feed off of that fucking energy. You kind of have to. You have to leave the basement sometimes, right? You have to make connections with other people sometimes, even if it feels weird, even if you don't like it. Or you'll wind up with fucking blue hair, hugging yourself and crying. Fake tears for internet clout. Okay, so from feminist website Redux, we have this next story. City of New York pays a male felon who identifies as a Muslim woman $350,000 for discrimination after placing him in a men's prison for a month. Miles was incarcerated. Dylan Miles, now known as Ali Miles, had initially demanded $22 million compensation. The city of New York has settled on $350,000. Incarcerated at the George R. Vierno Center on Rikers Island from June to July of 2022. He'd been arrested on a warrant out of Arizona. Following his brief detention, he was transferred back to Arizona and placed in the Yavapai County Jail. Tried and found guilty of 2 counts of aggravated harassment per domestic violence class 5 felony for instances dated November 2021 and February 2022. Found guilty of disorderly conduct, harassment, threatening or intimidating, and falsely reporting to a law enforcement agency, which are all class 1 misdemeanors. October of 2022, placed on supervised probation for a period of 3 years and sentenced to 312 days of jail, with credit added for the 132 days he had already been held there, and was also subject to domestic violence assessment. But in August 2023, Miles filed a lawsuit against the city of New York seeking damage related to gender identity discrimination for having been detained in the men's section of Rikers Island. The suit argued that Miles had informed the court that he was transgender and required special detention accommodations. The judge agreed, and orders were then marked to notify the prison and intake personnel that Miles was to be housed at the female-only Rose Singer facility on Rikers Island, but he was not. Miles claimed that he suffered discrimination, including being subjected to transphobic remarks from prison staff while incarcerated. Also claimed to be the victim of sexual assaults, in particular emphasizing the sexual victimization by multiple African American males. Alleged that a prison staff member said, "We don't do the trans thing here," after he demanded to be moved to the women's section. He was then strip searched by a male guard. He allegedly told them he had nice tits and one hell of a pussy. This is despite Miles not having had any known genital surgeries. While the city of New York rejected and refuted Miles's claims on June 21st, they offered to settle the case for $350,000. The settlement agreement stipulated that they were not admitting guilt and that Miles would no longer be able to take legal action for this matter. In the suit, Miles alleged that the personnel at Chelsea yoga. In May of 2023, Miles filed a lawsuit against a yoga studio seeking $5 million after employees reportedly asked him to use the men's restroom. So this person is, a habitual lawsuit filer. Oh, look at that grossness! I'm sorry, folks. Also filed compensation, wanting compensation from New York Presbyterian Hospital. He also sued a former employee, Bagel Point, a cafe in Brooklyn, for $75,000. So yeah, this is one of these people who go around demanding people play along with their gender delusion, and when they don't, lawsuit. 4 frivolous lawsuits, and now taxpayers of New York have to pay $350,000. Okay, one last video, and then we're going to wrap up the show here. One last video, and we are wrapping up.
Oh, honey, of course you see an Adam's apple. That's because I have one. I also have hairy armpits and big biceps and a dick. I'm sorry your insult didn't land, but thanks for giving me the opportunity to platform this point, which is that none of those things make me any less feminine. Oh, honey, of course you see an Adam's.
I mean, I'm just going to leave that for itself. Like, if you don't think those things make you any less feminine, then you don't understand femininity. I mean, that's quite simply, none of those things define femininity. You could say that, but they do make you less feminine. See, this is where you're wrong. Right? Estrogen doesn't do that. Estrogen does not do that. Right? Women who have that, real women who have that, have hormone imbalances. Now, granted, the unshaved armpit thing, maybe, okay, maybe. But the Adam's apple, yeah, no, that's less feminine. Sorry to burst your bubble. The square jaw, less feminine. Those things that you're calling big muscles, oh my God. We've had chat going on for a while. 2 minutes ago, got Cookie over on YouTube. Shut up, I can cook. Can you see me, Mild? Yeah, I see you now. I don't know what was going on. Sangling 86 over on Rumble. 6 reloads to get the video instead of a blank screen. Should have stuck with the blank screen. Sorry, folks. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I was showing only one viewer for the longest time, and now boom shakalaka. Shut up, I can cook saying bye, Mild. Well, cheers and welcome to Shut Up, I Can Cook. And cheers and welcome to Sangland 86. Yeah, I can finally see you folks. Welcome. But yeah, that was going to be it right there. That was the last of the videos, last of the viral videos for the gender crazy of the week. Folks, come back tomorrow night at about this time, about 7 p.m. Central. Tomorrow night, or no, about 7:40 Central tomorrow night. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be doing the debate right here on Rumble. Not Twitch, not YouTube. I'm going to do it on Rumble. Going to be covering the presidential debate, and we'll be playing Biden Bingo. Playing Biden Bingo as we check out the presidential debate. Let me go ahead and remove the gender crazy. Oh, look, and bring up my my banner. Wow, completely forgot the banner till the end of the show. Yeah, we'll be playing some Biden Bingo during the debate. And again, I'll need to figure out something to do. We need some kind of celebratory thing if CNN cuts Trump's mic. You know it's going to happen. They've threatened it. Now that Trump has heard such threats, he's going to test the limits. It's going to happen. They're going to cut trump's mic. And we I need to think of something to do to just be like, yep, they fucking did it. We need a segment in the show. If you're another Rumble or YouTube creator out there and you want to join me for the debate, feel free to get a hold of me on X, and we can discuss some ideas of collaborating for this thing. You know, look, if you want the clean feed, go to CNN, go to Fox, go wherever this is being rebroadcast. No, we're gonna provide commentary. We're gonna provide some transformative content, and yeah, you may not hear every word that the presidential candidates are speaking, but that's the point. And that's exactly why YouTube wants to censor people for doing it. So yeah, feel free to drop back by tomorrow night at about 7:40 Central, maybe 7:45, which would be like, I think, 8:45 Eastern or something like that. Feel free to drop back by. We're going to watch the presidential debate together tomorrow. And yeah, feel free to follow me on all the social media platforms down in the description. And if I ever have to cancel shows again like I did this past week or reschedule things, you'll be the first to know if you're following me on all those platforms. Yeah, and we will also be back this Saturday, 6 p.m. Central, for the normal Saturday show. Feel free to come back. Same bat time, same bat channel. All of the platforms that we normally stream on. Till then, please click that like button. Click that like button. If you're new here, click the follow button. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, all that shit. If you're on YouTube. If you're new here, please consider watching a second video and sharing this off platform. Really helps with the algorithms. All those things help spread the word, help build the channel. Dear Lord, I need to build this channel up. Dear Lord, I need a bigger audience. So yeah, I'm assuming that that Rumble just crashed or something. Not sure why my video was not playing earlier. And I've been teasing that I'm probably going to go back to StreamYard, and I should have done that today. But after working all day, I just needed it to be easy, and it's a lot easier to set up a Rumble stream on Rumble Studio than it is to go through StreamYards. But so, yeah, I may wind up doing the StreamYard tomorrow. So feel free to stop back by for that. Stop back by Saturday. Until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. I'll catch you folks next time on Mild's Culture Plate. Until then, have a wonderful week. Good night.